Hey y'all, welcome to our last week of our online Christmas and Advent retreat, Living in Hope. Merry Christmas. It's hard to believe that we are this far into our retreat and that this is the 6th week of our retreat. The theme of the retreat this week is the Epiphany. And we celebrated yesterday, the Feast of the Epiphany. And so our companions for the week this week are the Magi. So what does Epiphany mean? Let's start there. Epiphany is a sudden and profound understanding of something. In the realm of our Christian faith, we think about the Epiphany and this Feast of the Epiphany as a profound and sudden revelation about God and about how Christ has made himself known and how Christ makes himself known in our world. And when we think of the Epiphany, there's really 3 prongs to it. The first is how Christ made himself known to the Magi. The second one is how Christ made himself known in the world through his baptism and the unique instance of his baptism when the sky opens and the voice of God is heard saying, "You are my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." And then the third piece comes down to how Christ made himself known to the world through performing his first miracle at the wedding of Cana. So while we are celebrating the feast that's typically associated with the 3 wise men coming to see Jesus, there are 2 more pieces to it that we will celebrate in our liturgical year over the next 2 Sundays. We'll hear the gospel reading this coming Sunday for Jesus' baptism, and the week after we'll hear the gospel reading of Jesus' first miracle. But this week's gospel is about the 3 wise men, the 3 Magi who come and who are seeking to pay homage to the newborn king. And they see a star and they come and follow it to Jerusalem, and they're looking for the new king. And this reminds me of the psalm this week that says, "Every nation shall adore you. Every nation on earth will adore you." And even these 3 wise men who really represent the pagans, right, who didn't believe in God at the time, and how they are coming to know God and to know that God is being revealed to them. So the 3 wise men see a star and they follow the star. And again, this echoes with the words from our first reading of Isaiah, where it says, "Your light will come and you shall be radiant, and nations will walk by your light." And here we see the 3 wise men walking by the star, by the light of Christ that is leading them to meet the newborn king. But while the 3 wise men are in Jerusalem, King Herod hears of their journey and their search. And he hears about this new king that has been born. And King Herod's a little nervous. He doesn't want to be challenged by any new king. So he secretly talks to the Magi and asks them to come to him once they have found him. So the wise men continue on their journey. They continually follow the star because they were told the star is the Star of Bethlehem and that the child was born in Bethlehem. So the wise men go, the star leads the way, and then we have this beautiful image of them paying homage to Jesus, the newborn infant king. And they lay before him the gifts of frankincense, gold, and myrrh. And they're warned in a dream not to return to Herod, and instead they go another way. And so when we think of the Magi and in the realm of what they have to do about us living in hope, for starters, they were the first pagans to understand that salvation comes through the incarnation and through this birth of Jesus, our King, our Messiah, our Savior. They also are witnesses to Christ being revealed to us and how Christ reveals himself in the world. So when we think about us, what star are we following? There's many things and there are many people that we can follow in this world today. but are we truly committed to following the star or the light of Jesus Christ? Are we truly committed to following the path that leads us to Bethlehem, where we meet our Savior? Are we on another path that's possibly leading us to a different end? What about how Christ has revealed himself to each of us? How has Christ made himself known to you the way that he was made known to the 3 wise men? So reflect back on your life and think about, what are the epiphanies that you have had where God was made known to you and you had a sudden or profound understanding that you never had before? And finally, I invite you to think about the gifts that the Magi laid at Jesus' feet. What are the gifts that you want to give and offer Jesus this year? We are in the new year. It's 2016. It's hard to believe that we are there. Each of us has been given unique gifts by God that we're called to use to spread the light of Christ and to spread hope in this world. What do you want to do this year? What do you want to do with your gifts, your God-given gifts, to help spread the light of Christ? And as we close our retreat, first, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to walk with you this Advent and Christmas season. I hope that this retreat has helped you live in hope and help you have some models and witnesses that you can turn to, as we looked at St. John the Baptist and St. Joseph and Mary and the Trinity and the Magi and the Holy Family. So as we looked at all of them, how might they support you in your journey ahead? And as we enter into ordinary time, I just invite you to keep walking with me if you don't mind. It won't always be in the message of a video each week, but I do plan the next several months to be walking through mercy and what is the year of mercy about and what is God's mercy for us. And I just invite you to continue to join me in the weekly reflections that you'll receive in your email, in your inbox. And as always, just know of my prayers for you, and I pray daily that each of you who are part of this great world of ministry and of just the shared discipleship and the shared relationship we have with God, that we can all continue to grow deeper and deeper in our relationship with God. So thank you, and have a wonderful 2016.